Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
Take advantage of the oil change special now through the end of June at Helmuth Ford in Sigourney. Must use complimentary pickup and delivery. It's simple, fast, convenient, and has a 27-point inspection. All for $49.99 plus tax. Call today to schedule an appointment at Helmuth Ford. 641-622-3260. Includes up to 6 quarts of Motorcraft oil and oil filter. Excludes diesel vehicles. For more information, go to helmuthford.com. Remember, must use complimentary pickup and delivery. It's the oil change special now through June 30th at Helmuth Ford in Sigourney.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to Shetland!
Welcome in. Good morning. It is the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. It's brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery in Oskaloosa. We are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. Of course, Stam Garden Center and Nursery is where you can experience the color. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, and closed on Sundays. Just outside of Oskaloosa on Highway 92 East. Get into Stam Garden Center and Nursery. And again, the Oski Dental Studios. You can schedule an appointment with Dr. Schuster or Dr. Drawn at 641-673-4845. They are accepting new patients. They're going to file your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta Dental provider at 902 South 17th in Oskaloosa. The Oski Dental Studios on the Stam Garden Center and Nursery morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. Let's kick things off with a look at our forecast. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Saturdays, 9 to noon. Nice and sunny today. A high of 79 degrees. South winds only 5 to 10 miles per hour. So, yeah, pretty darn nice day today. Chance of some showers and thunderstorms coming up late tonight toward tomorrow morning. Possibly some heavy rainfall, which, I don't know, we don't necessarily need that heavy rainfall. Increasing clouds, a low of 62 for tonight. Tomorrow, showers and storms, and a high around 74. Again, possibly some heavy rainfall tomorrow. Tomorrow night, chance of some showers. After that, clearing off, a low of 49. And then we'll make way for a beautiful day on Saturday with sunshine and 74 degrees. Right now, we do have current conditions, humidity at 80%. Just a little bit of a wind right now. Barometer at 29.91 and 54 degrees here in southeast Iowa. Again, your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Earlier this morning, 6 a.m. every weekday, we put up our This or That, which is brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty in Sigourney. This or That today is sushi or burgers. I am definitely on the that bandwagon. Give me a burger every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Hamburgers. That's the only way to go there. You guys, if you've been watching this show at all for the last few months, you know I am a picky eater, and I have never, ever, and nor will I ever try sushi. Disgusting. Barforama. I'm going with a hamburger. So throw a burger on the grill for me. I am all about that. You can comment on that. Let your opinions be known in the comments of the this or that from earlier this morning. Hey, coming up later on today, we'll go to our question of the day, which is brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa in Sigourney. Call or text for an appointment, 641-622-3772, located at 202 North Main in Sigourney. Question is, of course, we're in that high school state of mind right now. High school graduation is what I was trying to say there. What do you remember about your high school graduation? Was there anything in particular that stands out in your memories about high school graduation? I'm trying to think. It's you think back, and it's like one thing that you don't realize is that graduation is probably the last time you're going to see a few people from your class ever. They just don't show up in your life ever again. So that's kind of sad. But what do you remember about your high school graduation? Is there anything memorable? You can let us know in the comments. Coming up at noon. That always comes out at noon, weekdays, here on Steve Shetler Media. Going on right now, we've got our For the Fun of It tournament. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty on this month's tournament. We're doing the 90s Country Group Duo Superstar Tournament, sponsored by Sarah's Quickie Delivery. They are a fantastic food delivery service in Oskaloosa and the surrounding area. And our current matchup that's going on started at 6 p.m. last evening, goes to 6 p.m. this evening. Dixie Chicks versus the Judds. Now, I'm going to pull up the brackets here. When this whole tournament started here, a little over 2.5 weeks ago, just eyeballing this tournament, I kind of, in my brain, had it pegged that we would be having Brooks and Dunn versus the Dixie Chicks in the finals. That's just the way it kind of worked out in my brain. But I don't think that's the way it's going to be at all, as obviously Alabama has defeated Brooks and Dunn. But right now, in the voting, the Judds are leading the Dixie Chicks. So, I mean, Alabama versus the Judds, that could be even an 80. If we did an 80s battle, that could be the finals in the 80s. But it's transitioning into the 1990s on this one. So, Alabama awaiting the winner of Dixie Chicks versus the Judds. And the Judds are currently leading right now. We'll see if they can hold on to that lead until 6 p.m. this evening. And then at 6, we'll go into our championship matchup. 24-hour voting for Alabama versus either the Chicks or the Judds. So be on the lookout for that. Get your vote in, though, on this current matchup, Dixie Chicks and the Judds. That goes till 6 p.m. this evening on our For the Fun of It tournament, brought to us by Sarah's Quickie Delivery. Again, get your food delivered to you in the Oskaloosa and surrounding area, 641-638-0756. Interesting stuff there. Coming up later on, today's Thursday already, isn't it? That means tomorrow we're going to be seeing this guy, Robbie Michael, at Barnwired in Sigourney. As you know, earlier this week we were promoting that a duo called Beggar's Bargain were going to be in town, but they had a change of plans, so we had to switch things up, and we've got Robbie Michael making his Iowa Music Showcase this Friday at the showcase at Barnwired in Sigourney. So you can check that out live and in person at Barnwired from 11:30 to noon, or you can watch here on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So Robbie Michael, our guest on tomorrow's Iowa Music Showcase. Also coming up this weekend, we've got the sports section. That's always coming to you live from Brothers Market in Sigourney at 8 a.m. Jenny Hobbs is your host with the most. This is actually Jenny's last Saturday for the spring section of the sports section. She's our spring host, and she wraps up her hosting duties coming up this Saturday. And then we'll be switching over to Mitch Eslick as our host coming up during the summer months. So Jenny's done a great job, and she's going to, again, it'll be her last hosting duties. We'll see if she wants to come back next spring for the sports section. I think she's done fantastic. So tune in Saturday, 8 a.m. And again, you can stop in and watch it live if you want at Brothers Market in Sigourney. So lots of stuff going on there. And then coming up next Tuesday, of course, we'll head back to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa for the Tuesday Night Tune-Up TNT, a live racing show where our host, Safe Grafke, and Curtis Vanderwall is usually hanging out as well, talking to local and area drivers about the racing scene here in southeast Iowa and the surrounding area. So if you like racing here in Iowa, you can tune in each Tuesday at 7, live from Smoky Row for the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Let's do some community calendar events, as I do want to point out a few things. Oskaloosa Summer Lunch coming up June 5th through July 31st. And if you want to volunteer for this, they'll gladly take your help. It's every Wednesday. If you have a free lunch hour and you want to help out with the Oskaloosa Summer Lunch program, that would be a great thing. Get more information at volunteermahaska.org. Also on the community calendar, we'll stay in Oskaloosa, the 6th annual Bark-A-Q coming up on Saturday, June 1st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Mahaska Drug parking lot. That's something that is going on. And then also, we've been promoting the Evelyn Access Summerfest, Music by the River, coming up on June 1st. That's a all-day event from noon to 10 at Evelyn Access by Oskaloosa, kind of on the outskirts of Oskaloosa. The Evelyn Access Campgrounds, a full day of music, activities, and food and fun. So that should be a great event as well. That's your community calendar here on The Morning Wake Up, brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery in Oskaloosa from the Oski Dental Studios. Let's take a look at the Good Mornings. Bubby, first in line this morning. Good morning to you, Carson. We got Jackie, we got Dan, Dodie, Nancy, Tracy. Tracy is waving and giving flowers this morning. So Sherry, Renee, Sandy, Tamra, Cindy, good morning to all of you. Glad to have you hanging out with me on a Thursday morning. Let's go ahead and jump into our birthdays. How about that? How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Our birthday is brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers at hometown-re.com. Give her a call, 641-295-4142. Celebrity and hometown birthdays. We'll start with our local and area birthdays with hometown birthdays. That includes Heather Clemens with a birthday. Heather is a regular viewer. I don't know if she's watching this morning or not, but a happy birthday to you, Heather. I believe with a birthday today. You know who's turning 50 today? A little birdie told me that Chad Heistoffer is turning 50 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Chad. Welcome to the 50s. I'm right here with you. I am also in my 50s. Chad Heistoffer, former number one fan, the top number one engaged fan of Steve Shetler Media. He had a 3-week run at number one. So Chad, the big 5-0 today. Sandy Fields has a local birthday, as does Jan Walrick and Glenn Knoll. Happy birthday to you folks. Celebrity birthdays today. We've got Joan Collins, the actress, 91. TV reporter John Quinones turning 72. Drew Carey, actor, comedian, Price is Right host, is 66. 66 years old for Shelley West, country singer. Melissa McBride from the TV show The Walking Dead, 59. And then singer Jewel is 50 years old. So celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate in Sigourney. And a good morning to you once again. Let's check things out on this date in history, which is today, May 23rd. Let me get my papers in order here. On this date, 1785, Benjamin Franklin wrote a letter claiming to have invented bifocals. So, I don't know if he officially gets credit or not, but Benjamin Franklin, bifocals, 1785. It was on this date in 1873. Hey, Canada created the Mounties. They always get there, man. The Mounties, 1873. It was today, 1934, Bonnie and Clyde were ambushed in Louisiana. Bienville, Louisiana. Bonnie Parker, Clyde Barrow. Bonnie and Clyde shot to death in 1934. And it was on this date in 1984, the Surgeon General first brought secondhand smoke to our attention. So that was 1984. Today, on the National Day calendar, today is National Taffy Day. You guys like taffy? I'll eat taffy. I'm not a huge taffy fan. It's National Lucky Penny Day. And it's, how do you say this? It's International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. Fistula. I have zero idea what that is, but I'm sure it's something important. And also keep in mind, the full moon that we've been seeing here recently, known as the flower moon in May, the month of May, the flower moon. All right, before we go any further, let's check in with some of our sponsors. That includes our headliner, Stam Garden Center and Nursery in Oskaloosa.
Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
Tassel Ridge also offers 9 different rosé wines that range from dry to semi-sweet and on to fully sweet wines. All are very fruity and all can be chilled and sipped or served with spicy dishes like Asian stir-fries, Mexican, and Moroccan couscous. Where white wines may not have enough body for all consumers or for all meals, red wines may have too much flavor. A rosé has more body and flavor than does a white, but less than a red wine. Our driest rosé is St. Croix Rosé. The semi-sweet rosés are American Pink Catawba, Oski Fazanti Red, Sweet Roxy Red, and Iowa Steuben. The sweetest rosés are Oski Fazanti Pink, Oski Fazanti Cranberry, Cranberry Wine, and Rockets Glare Rosé. When asked for my favorite, I usually think of Iowa Steuben. Iowa Steuben is a very fruity, semi-sweet rosé that is very popular. It's also versatile since it can be chilled and sipped, or it can also be used to complement many foods.
Muse Music Store and Mahaska County Conservation Board presents Eveland Access Summerfest Music by the River 2024. June 1st from noon to 10 p.m. featuring 8 musical artists with live music, activities like bingo, sand volleyball, and cornhole, food, and much, much more. It's a free event at the Eveland Access Campgrounds at 2890 Galveston Avenue, Oskaloosa. Bring a friend and have a lot of fun at the Eveland Access Summerfest 2024 Music by the River, June 1st from noon to 10 at the Eveland Access Campgrounds. That Eveland Access Summerfest can be a good time. Steve Shetler Media, an official sponsor of that event, so make sure you get out there on June 1st. We thank Stam Garden Center and Nursery in Oskaloosa for sponsoring our morning wake-up. We thank Oski Dental for sponsoring our studios. Time for things you need to know. Oh. Things you need to know. In things you need to know, let's see here. Court we were talking about this yesterday. A court has ruled that Elvis's Graceland mansion cannot be auctioned off today, as was scheduled, at least for now. Riley Keough slammed foreclosure attempt as fraudulent. So, you're not going to buy Graceland anytime soon. According to a new study in Things You Need to Know, you're twice as likely to be run over by an electric car than by a gas or diesel one. Who did that study? And how did they find out? You're twice as likely to get run over by an electric car as by a gas or diesel one. How do you find that out? I don't know. Other things you need to know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is claiming that the Biden Department of Justice and the FBI were planning to assassinate former President Trump when they made that raid 2 years ago to retrieve classified documents. So, I don't know what she is founding that on, but that's scary. More legal troubles for Diddy, as a former model now claims that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by him back in 2003. P. Diddy, yo. Spain, Ireland, and Norway have announced that they will recognize a state of Palestine. Okie dokie. Other stuff you need to know, there's a new study that finds regular use of fish oil supplements may increase, not reduce, the risk of first-time stroke and atrial fibrillation among people in good cardiovascular health. So that sounds fishy to me. Other things, the age of vehicles on the road in the U.S. has hit a record average age of 12.6 years old this year, as people hang on to their vehicles largely because new ones cost so much. I mean, who can afford to buy a new car anymore? They're ridiculous. The average U.S. new vehicle selling price is now just over $45,000. Who can afford? I mean, the average person cannot afford that. And that's down more than $2,000 from the peak back in December of 2022. Cars are expensive, ridiculously expensive. Let's go to the world of Barbie dolls. Barbie going to be honoring tennis champion Venus Williams and 8 other athletes as part of a project announced by Mattel this week. So look for your Venus Williams Barbie. Aaron Rodgers, football player, said that he passed on becoming Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s running mate because, of course, he wants to concentrate on being a football player. So evidently there must have been some truth to that. How about this? A day after pleading not guilty to conspiring to overturn the 2020 election, Rudy Giuliani released a commercial for his new organic Rudy brand of coffee. Rudy. He says with the purchase of his coffee, you're supporting the cause of truth, justice, and American democracy. Rudy Giuliani coffee. How about this? If you want to dance on the dance floor that was made famous in the movie Saturday Night Fever, that dance floor, goes up for auction next month and is expected to get upwards of $300,000. Yeah. Is that the same movie, Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever? It was made for the movie, fitted at the 2001 Odyssey Disco in Brooklyn, where many of the scenes were set and filmed. Get that dance floor. Also, the buzz on the PGA Tour is that the romance rumors are swirling between golfer Rory McIlroy, and CBS reporter Amanda Balionis. Am I getting her name right? I don't know. That's just a week after news broke that Rory had filed for divorce from his wife of 7 years. So we'll see what happens there. In some food news, yum, 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 yum. Fast food wars heating up. McDonald's hoping to lure back some folks, bringing back their $5 value meals. And now Wendy's has rolled out a new $3 breakfast value meal. So, value. Get your value. Buffalo Wild Wings, how about this for value? Buffalo Wild Wings are offering an all-you-can-eat deal on boneless wings and fries for $19.99 every Monday and Wednesday through July 10th. So if you like boneless wings and french fries from Buffalo Wild Wings, check that out. And then finally, in some food news, Domino's is pledging $174 million over the next 10 years to St. Jude's Hospital with their Roundup program. So, good thing going on there. Let's see here. Let's take a look at some of the comments going on. Good morning to you, Molly. Cindy. Chad Heistoffer. Chad, we were talking about you earlier. Your birthday's today, and we hear that the numbers 5 and 0 are involved in your birthday. So happy birthday to you. Dixie, Aaron, Eloise, good morning to all of you. Let's do this. Today's Impossible. It's Impossible Question. Today's Impossible Question, according to a recent poll, kids say that this is the number one thing that will put them in a bad mood in the morning. Again, recent poll says kids say that this is the number one thing that will put them in a bad mood in the morning. What is it? What is this? Anybody got any questions? Any guesses? Any thoughts? The number one thing that's going to put a kid in a bad mood in the morning is having to finish their homework. That would put me in a bad mood. Homework. I mean, kids don't have to worry about too much longer anyway. I mean, summer break's almost here. It's here already for some kids. Let's get weird.
That is weird.
In some weird today, well, if you've got a bear in a tree, I don't think we have to worry about that in Iowa too much. But if you have a bear in a tree or on your property that you need to get rid of, don't worry about blasting Black Sabbath Iron Man. I am Iron Man. At least that's the conclusion from Colorado, where Parks and Wildlife officials came to that conclusion recently. According to Fox, rangers resorted to blasting Black Sabbath's 1970 hit Iron Man at a bear stuck in a tree in Golden, Colorado. Didn't work. They tried flying a drone close to the bear, which kind of irritated it. But yeah, plain Iron Man, the drone, neither of them worked. What worked was just leaving the bear alone and letting it figure out how to get out of the tree by itself. So I don't know. Maybe bears like Iron Man. I like Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Other weird stuff. Scientists have used a new technique to synthesize diamonds at normal atmospheric pressure and without a starter gem, which could make the precious gemstones much easier to grow in a lab. Interesting. So are those considered real diamonds? I don't know. Are they fake diamonds? I don't know. Just reading the story. Other weird stuff. A pet owner was left scratching her head after receiving a bizarre note from her neighbor about something so trivial she thought it must be a joke. Have you ever gotten like a weird note from a neighbor? Like they leave a note maybe under your windshield wiper or on your front door or in your mailbox? Anybody? I had a weird neighbor letter one time. It was strange. But this person that got the letter from their neighbor was talking to a local Facebook group. The woman shared the letter about her cat that was left in her letterbox the other day. Basically, this woman let her cats sit in the window and enjoy the weather and the view. But the neighbor, who has a dog, the dog that doesn't like the cats and barks at the cats, the neighbor wrote a letter saying, "Can you please get your cats out of your window so my dog doesn't bark at your cats?" The nerve of some people. Now, obviously, that went kind of bonkers on social media. Lots of people having comments on that, but yeah. In fact, 15,000 comments have been left at last check. So, yeah, don't write weird letters to your neighbor asking them to keep your cats out of your windows. Duh. How about you get your dog under control? All right, let's go to social media. Let's go to New Zealand. A New Zealand man has been fined over a social media video in which he tries to, quote-unquote, body slam an orca killer whale that was swimming next to his boat in what officials called stupid and extremely irresponsible behavior. A 50-year-old Auckland man, whom authorities did not name, jumped off the boat into the waters off the coast of the Auckland suburb of Devonport, where an adult male orca and calf were swimming nearby. So, yeah, don't do that. It's illegal to do that, for one, and it's stupid for another. Also in the weird, daily and near-daily marijuana use, dude, pass me the Doritos, is now more common than similar levels of drinking in the U.S., according to an analysis of national survey data over 4 decades. Now, alcohol, still more widely used, but 2022 was the first time that this intensive level of marijuana use overtook high-frequency drinking. So, yeah, whoa, dude. How about climbing mountains? I mean, maybe you want to smoke some marijuana and climb a mountain. Climbing Mount Everest. It's a lifelong pursuit for some people to do. But renowned mountain climbing guide, a person named Cami Rita, has done it twice this month. 2 times climbing Mount Everest in 1 month. In fact, his ascent on Tuesday is the 30th overall time of climbing Mount Everest for the 54-year-old. So that guy likes to climb Mount Everest. Good morning to you, Eloise. Let's go to the files of Law and Disorder. In some disorder, this is disturbing, parents in Los Angeles, Koreatown, called for mental health help in the middle of their son's bipolar episode earlier this month. Clinical personnel showed up, as did the police. And then police fatally shot the 40-year-old, whose name was Yong Yang, who had a knife in his hand. Less than 10 seconds after officers opened the door to his parents' apartment where he had locked himself in. So again, this guy having a bipolar episode, he had a knife, police showed up, they shot him. Now, the parents of Yang, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder around 15 years ago, have told NBC News exclusively that they are disputing part of the account captured on body cam. So, yeah, it's just a horrible situation. Let's do something that will make you smile.
Something that makes you smile.
And something to make you smile, always brought to us by Dr. Stacy Freeze. Let's take a look at her. Dr. Stacy Freeze at Lifetime Dental Solutions. If you're searching for a dentist in Sigourney, give her a call, 641-622-2669. Accepting new patients, Lifetime Dental Solutions in Sigourney with Dr. Stacy Freeze. Something to make you smile. A helpful chimpanzee will make you smile. Helpful chimpanzee at a Chinese zoo was caught on camera returning a shoe that had been dropped into the enclosure by a young visitor. Now, the video recorded at the zoo shows a chimpanzee named Dong Dong, playing with a shoe that had been dropped into the chimpanzee enclosure by a child. Onlookers can be heard cheering when the 14-year-old ape tosses the shoe back to the crowd, where it was returned to the visitor. A zookeeper said Dong Dong, the chimpanzee, is a highly intelligent chimp and has been witnessed returning lost property to visitors in the past. So that's pretty cool. Chimpanzee throwing back a lost shoe to the visitors at a zoo in China. Dong Dong. Something to make you smile, brought to you by Dr. Stacy Fries at Lifetime Dental Solutions. And let's wrap this up today with some duh. In some duh, don't ever mess with a flamethrower. Mexico, I guess, often has violent disputes between street performers. And it reached a new level of violence this week when a group of guitar-toting mariachis attacked a flame swallower. And what happened next was perhaps predictable. According to security camera footage, the mariachis, in their white jackets, at first seemed to be winning. You know, they were punching the flame swallower to the ground, kicking him on the sidewalk. However, oh, by the way, this was in front of a taco restaurant that was named Hell. Hey, honey, let's go out for some tacos. Let's eat at Hell. Let's eat in Hell. Some Hell tacos. The video then shows the mariachis, some of them with their clothes on fire, running away. It seems the flame swallower had doused them with flammable liquid from a small can and set them on fire. So yeah, don't mess with the flame swallower. He will quite obviously set you on fire. Police said that he had told them he had argued with the mariachis, who then attacked him, and then the fight ensued. So flame swallower won. Don't mess with him. Let's take a look at our forecast before we get out of here for today. Our weather always brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Nice and sunny today, a high of 79. South winds only 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain is in the future, though, so enjoy today. We'll be back to sunshine on Saturday with a high of 74. We do thank Stam Garden Center and Nursery, just outside of Oskaloosa, where you can experience the color. They sponsor our morning wake-up. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, closed on Sundays. Oski Dental, the Oski Dental Studios. Get a hold of Oski Dental. Schedule an appointment at 641-673-4845. Coming up today here on Steve Shetler Media, it is a Thursday, so we've got In Remembrance Of coming up at 8 a.m. We'll get to country music news at 5 p.m., Successful Farming at 5:30, Musical Musings. That was last night, actually, so make sure you check that out. We'll have the Sigourney Public Library video coming up at 10 a.m., The Great Outdoors with Laura the Cook at 4, Successful Farming at 5:30, The Weekly Pet with the Heartland Humane Society, Morgan You Asked For with Sports Talk. That's all coming up later on today. So, busy day here on Steve Shetler Media. You guys get out there, enjoy the weather, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.